we see that a person has a unique ability to transform themselves unlike any other creature in the world. Rabbi Yaron Reuven said that if you look at it and you study the issue of Tumah v'Tahara, which is perhaps the most difficult subject in Judaism, which is purity and impurity, not very applicable to today because we don't have a Bet HaMikdash. We really don't have a way to purify all of the things that make us impure. Like, for example, all of us have a impurity of the dead. Either because you've touched somebody that died, or you touched somebody else that touched somebody that died. And pretty much everyone in the world has this. And there's no way to purify it until we have the Bet HaMikdash, and the Kohanim will use the red heifer as part of the process to purify all of Am Yisrael. But there are certain things, like for example the Tumah of the Nidah, where a woman that goes to the mikveh every month, she's married, she purifies herself, and the Zohar Kadosh says that there's no Tumah stronger than the Tumah of the Nidah. Meaning the Tumah of the Nidah is even stronger, has more power to affect people than the Tumah of dead people. Now this doesn't chas v'shalom make a woman bad or evil or anything like that, chas v'shalom. It just means that this is just one of those places where a person needs to be very, very careful with with his wife, if he's married, to make sure that they're only together and even touching hand to hand when she's pure, which is approximately half the month. And needless to say, to limit any type of touching whatsoever before marriage, simply because this creates a lot of problems in a person's life. And many times the people that come to me with their major issues, whether it's sickness, financial problems, marriage issues, children issues, all types of issues, 9 out of 10 times is because of immorality. Immorality either because they're married but they don't know how to be together with their spouse in a kosher way, or because they're promiscuous, or because they waste seed, or because a number of other issues that people have, where the immorality in this generation is running rampant, so much so that there is a group of an enormous group and growing group, unfortunately, of homosexual people that are celebrating their public sins against Hashem by having parades about it, and the public thinks it's normal. Now it's bad enough, homosexuality has always existed, even at the time of Noach, which was actually one of the biggest reasons why Hashem destroyed the world. Now, there's always been homosexuality, but only twice in history was it celebrated. Time of Noach and today. Other times, people would, generally speaking, hide it. Now last time, Hashem destroyed the world. This time we have a promise from Hashem that He's not going to destroy the world with a mabul. But we don't have a promise that He won't destroy the world. Now, I don't think necessarily that Hashem is going to destroy the world like He did with the time of Noach, but we see that man has enough power in his actions to not only change himself, but change the creation and influence the Creator. Now, when it comes to impurity, everything in creation, once it's impure, it cannot become pure again. So if, let's say, there's an animal that became impure, there's no way to purify it. There are bugs. Bugs are always impure. Torah talks about it. And also there's specific types of reptiles and things like that that are also impure. There's no way to purify them. Everything that's impure stays that way, except man, except a human being. Where a human being, a Jew, can make themselves pure even if they were the most impure person on earth. Even if they were as bad as Menashe. Menashe was an evil Jewish king at some point that became a kadosh, the symbol of Teshuva. But It was a very difficult tshuva. It was a very painful tshuva, but nonetheless, he did tshuva, the Gemara says. But he made every sin under the sun. You name it, he did it. Murder, stealing, rape, incest, name it, everything. He murdered his own grandfather, which was the prophet Yeshaya. The prophet Isaiah, you see the book of Isaiah in the Torah, that was his grandfather. He cut him to pieces. And he murdered a lot of people, but in the end, he did tshuva after HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him one last chance when he was caught by a bunch of cannibalistic goyim that were cooking, decided to cook him. It's in the Torah, it's in the Tanakh. They put him in a big pot, and they started cooking him. So in the beginning, Menashe started praying to his idols. Idol A, save me. Babkis, nothing. Idol B, nothing. The sun, nothing. The moon, nothing. The Buddha, nothing. Yoshke, nothing. Everything you want, nothing. Tried everything. Everything failed. Finally, he got to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if you're real, you save me right now, and I'll do tshuva. The Chachamim say, look at this chutzpan. Not only does he go against Hashem, kills a bunch of tzaddikim, not only does he make every possible sin under the sun, but he prays to idols. Before he prays to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, after all of that fails, then he goes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and he has the nerve to make demands. Like, if you save me now, then I'll do tshuva. Like, I won't do tshuva now, unless you save me. But this also shows us how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves his kids. Where he knows how stupid we are sometimes, and how many mistakes we make, and how we don't know right or left sometimes, because we think that the sin is delicious, we think that the sin is good, and we make the sin, we become addicted to it. But then finally we call on HaKadosh Baruch Hu and we say, Hashem, I'll do tshuva if you save me. And Hashem knows our heart. It's one of our 13 principles of faith, is that Hashem knows our thoughts, meaning He knows what's in our heart, He knows what's in our mind. You don't have to say it. Hashem already knows it. And He knew that Menashe was genuine. And not only did He save him, He saved him in a miraculous way, that while he was being cooked in a huge pot, He made this pot the first UFO. The first UFO. The pot started flying in the air, arrived in Yerushalayim. That's what Tanakh says. Pot flew up in the air and arrived all the way to Yerushalayim. And at that moment, Menashe obviously knew that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one and only God, and he did tshuva. And the Gemara, Masechet Sanhedrin, says that Menashe did tshuva, but it's only mentioned at the end of the Tanakh, because the tshuva that he did was not completed during his lifetime, because there were certain sins that he made that he couldn't fix while he was alive. For example, the idolatry that he did, there were certain consequences of the idolatry. So until all of the idolatry was removed from the world that he brought into it, his tshuva was not complete. So this was many, many years after he died, but nonetheless his tshuva was complete and he has a share of the world to come. So here we see that a person can transform themselves from being mamash tameh, impure as impure gets, to being so tahor that we mention him in a Shiur Torah, that we mention him in a Tanakh, that we mention him in the Gemara, that we learn from him. That's the power of a human being, of how great they can get to, but also how lowly they can be. Now, there are times that we say stories from the Midrashim or the Gemarot that some people have a hard time believing. For example, the Midrash says, how come Am Yisrael, which were numbered in the millions, how come they didn't just pick up and leave Egypt? Why don't you just go? Hey, Mustafa, I'm out of here. What's he going to do? Kill you? Okay, so make a protest. Look what's happening in New York, in Minnesota, and everywhere. 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people are protesting. The cops pretty much gave up. They're like, yeah, just ruin everything. They don't want to deal with it. They're destroying public property as if it's a mitzvah. Police don't even want to do anything about it. Why? What are you going to do? 50,000 of them. in order to do something about it, you have to start killing people. It's hard. So they gave up. So why not Am Yisrael do the same thing? Why not Am Yisrael just say, listen, we're numbered in the millions. In fact, there is even more of Am Yisrael than there is Egyptians. A lot more. So let's go. We run towards the exit. A few of us are going to die. A few of us are going to live. Yalla. Sacrifice. And the Gemara says, few reasons. One of the reasons is because Hashem instilled fear into Am Yisrael. They were afraid of the goyim. Just like an elephant is afraid of its owner that holds on a little leash. You ever guys in circus? You got this owner that's the size of like the half a leg of the elephant, and he has a leash that belongs to a dog, but he put it on the elephant. But this guy is controlling this giant elephant somehow. Why? The elephant's scared of him. Am Yisrael was scared of the Egyptians. As part of the whole situation that was happening there, Hashem instilled fear into Am Yisrael to be scared of the goyim. Now, one of the reasons why they were scared of the goyim is because anytime somebody tried breaking out, something terrible would happen. What would it be? The idols of the Egyptians would come to life. There were huge, giant idols in the borders, and as soon as the Jews would come close to the exit, the idols would come to life and start screaming and scaring them to death. Now, until I mentioned this last part of the idol, piece of stone coming to life, very easy to understand the rest of the story. Once I go into this mystical teaching of a piece of stone coming to life and scaring people, now that gets a little tricky for some people. Why? They don't want to believe in stuff like that. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to give you the answer, of course. How could it be that an idol comes back to life? Comes to life. Starts talking, starts yelling, starts beating up people. How could it be? No, Sutton?
Possessed by demons.
Possessed by demons. It's a good one. Who has another one? Who has another one? Now that answer would be a good answer, but then you're going to have to explain to me another answer then. Elisha Hanavi. He was Kodesh Kodashim. And it was this poor woman who was married for many, many years, never had a kid. And she came to Elisha Hanavi. She was hosting him. Taking care of him. He was such a good host. Very tough to find good hosts. This woman was hosting him with a husband, but no kids. He sees there's no kids. So he says, BT, my daughter, tell me, I'm going to go pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to the king. I'm going to go talk to the king. What do you want? Tell me what you want. Not because he doesn't know what she wants. It's good for her to say it. She says, my dear prophet, my dear rabbi, don't pray for me. Pray for Am Yisrael. If you're already going to pray, pray for Am Yisrael. She doesn't have a kid. She's married 20 years. No kid. What does a woman want when she's married? Kids. Sarah Yimenu says, if I don't have a kid, it's better if I just die. All the imot, all the matriarchs, they were having problems having kids. They didn't have the ability to have kids. Kadosh Baruch Hu made them have a problem because he wanted to hear them pray. A woman naturally wants to have kids. So when a woman doesn't have kids after 20 years of marriage, you ask her, what do you want? The prophet's going to go talk to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu talks back to him. In so many words, you can ask for whatever you want. This is your chance. Instead of saying, listen, do me a favor, Rabbi, tell Hashem to give me a kid. Just one. 2 if he wants. 5, also better. But 1, Baruch Hashem. Instead, she said, no, go pray for all of Am Yisrael. What a tzadikah. So the prophet says, Elisha Hanavi says, in 9 months from now, you're going to have a kid. Nature is going to change for you. Why? Because you love Am Yisrael. So now the kid is born, 9 months later, Yishtabach Shemo, and then something happens, the kid gets a high temperature, dies. Baby, dies. Shem Yishmo. She doesn't lose a beat. She runs to the Prophet. Yes? Kvod Harav, you prayed for me to have a baby. What's the point of praying for me to have a baby if he's just going to die a few months later? What's the point? And he says, not to worry. Gehazi, take this stick, my staff, and go touch the forehead of the baby with the staff. He'll come back to life. Gehazi made fun of this. Not in front of the Prophet. He went outside and he started talking to me. He goes, you think this stick brings life? Doesn't, right? You think this brings life? This is Gehazi, this is the rabbi, big rabbi. He heard all the lectures of Elisha Navi. All the lectures, but he still made fun. Because he didn't believe, what is it? A stick, a piece of wood is going to bring the kid back to life? Doesn't make any sense. So he started like playing around with it, and he saw a dead dog in the street. Dead dog. So he touched the dog with the stick, dog back to life. Goes, gets to the kid, touches the kid, kid's still dead. Nothing happens. Why? You already used it. Woman comes back to Elisha Navi, says it's not working. Elisha knew what happened with Gehazi, he made a mistake, or what he did. Elisha himself goes, sees the kid, and brings him back to life. Yishtabach Shemo. Now, back to Sutton. If you're saying that the statues had a demon in them, it's a nice answer. That's why they were able to come back to life. But we can't use that same answer for Elisha Navi.
Well, I mean, this time there's an angel in there.
Ah, there's an angel in this one. One's an angel, one's a son. Okay, see, something smart. But what if I tell you it's not an angel and not a demon? No angel, no demon. What's the next answer? Hashem is inside the stick. Thank you. Hashem make it happen. That's an answer. It's what you guys are saying to me. No. Think. What does it mean? I have a stick. Go touch. Use this piece of stick. Use this piece of bottle. And go dip in the water. What? What happened? Somebody comes. Says, Rabbi, we want to have a baby. We're married 5, 10 years. We want to have a baby. Rabbi says, no worry, B'ezrat Hashem, 1 year from now you're going to have a baby. A year later they have a baby. No stick. No water. Rabbi said, they have a baby. I saw this with my own eyes. How come? No stick. Emunah Chachamim? No, but we can't have Emunah Chachamim with Egypt. It still has to be the same answer. So the answer is, Rabotai, half of what you said. Emunah. What does that mean? Unlike all creation, a human being has the ability to change itself in so many words. And so much so that they could go from being impure to pure. And if a person understands their own power, they could literally instill power into the domem. They could instill power into something that's otherwise just a solid nothing, lifeless. So the Egyptians had many different types of witchcraft that they used, and they utilized that witchcraft in order to instill life into the idols. Now, many people can read different type of witchcraft books, try the same trick, and it doesn't work. On the other hand, on the positive side, Elisha Navi was Kodesh Kodashim. He instilled life into a piece of wood. And the wood brought somebody back to life. On the other hand, somebody comes to Rav Ovadia, somebody comes to Rav Yagin, somebody comes to many Rabbanim, that's documented throughout all of history, and things happen. Something supernatural. One of the famous stories about Rav Salman Mutzafi that I mentioned to you guys last night. He was a very famous mekubal that made open miracles. People witnessed them. People witnessed these miracles, thousands of people. And every so often he would do it to give chizuk to people. And he was a Kodesh Kodashim, Talmid Chacham, Mekubal, according to all opinions. Sephardic, Ashkenazi, doesn't make a difference. His son today is one of the Gedolei Hador, Rav Ben Tzio Musafi. Now, one time, one of the famous stories that was witnessed by countless people is Rav Salman Musafi, Alav Shalom, told many of his students, we're going to go pray at Kivrei Tzadikim, at the grave sites of the Tzadikim, in Tveria, Tiberias. We'll go pray there. So, a bunch of people showed up, and they all went. When they got to Tveria, one of the little kids ran across the street, and a truck ran over him. Crushed him. Shem Yishmel. Bodies laying there on the floor. Everyone is in shock. Ambulance shows up. There's still a little life, but the guy at the ambulance says, Kvod Harav, we're sorry. You don't see it, but his insides are completely crushed. There's no way he's going to survive. Rav Salman Musafi says to the Keilah, says, okay, let's go to the kever of Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. Let's go climb, go to this kever, pray over there. And then we'll go to the hospital, see the boy. Okay. Everyone's nervous, everyone's crying. And they go to Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. They pray over there. After they finish, they go to the hospital. Rav Salman Musafi goes in by himself. He sees, doctors tell him, Kvod Harav, we're sorry. Kid's not going to make it. There's too much damage. The little boy is not going to make it. So why don't you just, maybe you could say Shema Yisrael next to him. Maybe you could blurb out a word or two before he dies, and that's it. Rav Salman Musafi says, it's not possible. It's not possible this kid's going to die. Right? No, Kvod Harav, he's crushed. Finished. The truck, 18-wheeler, ran over this kid. It's finished. It's nothing. It's not possible. It's not possible he's going to die. Why not, Kvod Harav? So we prayed. We just prayed. We just went to Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes, we prayed over there. We're doing a mitzvah. It's not possible he's going to die. I'm going to go inside. Okay. No one knows what's going on here. Just like you. Rav Salman Musafi sees his boy, comes back outside, tells the doctor, okay, I'm going to take him out. I'm going to take him with me. Kvod Harav, if you unplug him from the wires, he's going to die instantly. It's on me, don't worry. In those days, you could do stuff like that. Today, you'd say something like they're going to arrest you. Don't try it at home. Unless you're Rav Salman Musafi. If you die, you can still do it. So he goes inside, unplugs everything, comes back, the kid's walking, nothing happened to him. Not a scratch. Zero. Everyone saw it. Nothing. Walks out. Hundreds of people watching this. They have no idea what just happened. The doctors, how's about 2 seconds ago, we were inside, we saw the kid, crushed, finished. So, Kvod Harav, what happened? So nothing happened. I told HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how could it be? We went to go do a mitzvah. We went to sanctify your name. How could it be that one of your children is going to get hurt doing a mitzvah? How could it be? And on top of it, we prayed. How could it be? Hashem said, I agree. Everything's fixed. Now, if this story wasn't witnessed and written in papers and things like that, people would have a very hard time believing it. But this is, Rabotai, the answer. the answer to the question that we started the day with. You see, when a woman comes to a Rav and asks the Rav, please give me a blessing, and the Rav gives her a blessing that she'll have a kid, or she'll find a zivug, or whatever the blessing is, or you'll be healthy and so on. If the woman believes in the Rav, believes that the Rav's blessing will come true, believes that HaKadosh Baruch Hu pays attention to the Rav, like believes it, not 90%, not even 99%, 100%. She herself instills power in his blessing. When Rav Musafi was praying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to bring this boy back to life, there was no doubt in his mind that this is going to happen, that the kid's going to come back to life, and that's why it happened. When Elisha Navi saw the poor woman didn't have a boy, he had no doubt in his mind that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was going to give her a boy. And on top of it, when the boy died, he took a stick and he believed 100% that giving this stick and giving it to his helper and having this stick touch the boy is 100% going to work and put life into the kid. His emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu's unlimited power, unlimited glory, instilled power into something that otherwise is lifeless. When we believe in something, we instill power in it. Now, this has enormous, enormous ramifications into our day-to-day life. Now, I don't believe any one of us is going to plan on becoming Rav Musafi anytime soon, because it requires you to study Torah 20 hours a day too, also, not just say the kid come back to life. But the reality is, many of us want our words to come true. This is why it's critical to start working on our bitachon, our emunah, and our connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But even more so, to be extremely careful with the words we choose when we speak to other people. Because what happens is, sometimes somebody makes you upset. So what do? Something not so nice. Yell at them, scream, maybe even curse them out, maybe insult them, maybe remind them of something horrible they did 1,000,000 years ago, or last week, whichever one. Tell them they're a loser, tell them they're not a winner, tell them all types of things. What you're not realizing is that your words, whether you mean them or not, are actually causing something to happen. Sometimes I meet young people and they ask me simple questions. They ask me, Rabbi, do you think I could one day be a rabbi? Sure, why not? But I don't understand what I'm reading. Okay, so study harder, you'll understand. But you really, really think that I'm going to be a rabbi one day? I said, yeah, why wouldn't you? So I don't know, nobody else thinks so. Rabbi, do you think I could be successful in business? Sure, why not? But I don't really know how to add, subtract. I'm not very good at anything. So what? You can still be successful. Rabbi, you really believe I can do all this? Yes, 100%. Wow, you're the only one that says that. And I see this story over and over again. People that do not believe in themselves and are surprised that I tell them they can do whatever they want. How come there's so many people that have such a low self-esteem, such a low evaluation of themselves? How come? Because that's what they heard their whole life. They wanted to do something, but somebody told them, usually somebody that's important in their life, they can't do it. I want to build this. Abba, what do you think? No, son, it's too big for you. Don't build it. It's too much for you. Go do something smaller, something more like, no, something small. Don't do big things. Why would you want, you want to fail? You don't want to fail. Just do something small, kid. Abba, I want to open a store. No, son, where are you going to open a store? For what? You're not going to succeed. You don't know what you're talking about. Stay working with me. Don't do anything. Make a blue-collar living. We don't need. Abba, I want to marry this girl. She's beautiful. Nah, she's too much for you. She's never going to look at you. No. Go. Do this, do that. constantly. Abba, I want to finish the whole Shas. Son, you don't even know how to speak Hebrew. Yeah, but it's in English too. Yeah, but you Shas, you're already too old, you're already too young, you're already this, you're not even that religious. No, don't do it. Constantly. Our life is full of naysayers, of people telling us that we can't do anything. And our problem is that we believe them. How do we know we believe them? Because it affects us. If somebody ever said something to you that was negative, and you were affected by it, that means you believe it. Even if you say, no, but I don't really care, you believe it. Part of you believes it. And because you believe it, it'll affect you. It'll affect your psyche, it'll affect your mentality, it'll affect your ability. And in essence, you yourself are giving their words power. And you're turning yourself into what they said you are, even though you weren't before they said it. They said you can't do it, a part of you believes it. By the way, what happens? You can't do it anymore. Before they said it, you could do whatever you want. After they said it, you believed it, that's it. That ability, garbage. You wanted to complete the entire Shas because you saw that it's a big thing to do. You started, you're reading, you're on page number 7 out of 2,666, but you're as excited as can be. Your friend comes up and she goes, what are you doing? I'm learning Gemara. What do you want? Well, why? Just, I don't know, watch a shiur online if you're already going to learn something. No, I want to actually read the Gemara. I want to finish the whole Shas. You're going to finish that. Yeah. Hey, guys, look at this guy. He thinks he's Rav Kanievsky. Look at this guy. Hey, quick, Kod Rav. Stop making fun of you. You believe a word that they said. You're affected by it. And for 1 second, you're giving them power. You're giving them power. That's why, Rabotai, first halacha, Shulchan Aruch, first one. Somebody comes to make fun of you in your avodat Hashem, don't pay any attention to them at all. Why? Because you paying attention to them, you agreeing with them, you second guessing yourself for a second already is taking away your strength to do what you want to do. If you know that what you want to do is good, you have to simply use these 2 fingers, put them in your ear anytime somebody wants to say something to you. And you have to be aggressive about it. Meaning, one of these people that's always Tisha B'Av comes to you and tells you their opinion of you and their opinion of your limitations. Because they can't do it, they assume you can't do it either. You have to be aggressive about it. How so? They start talking, don't let them finish. Say, do me a favor, go tell that to somebody else. No, I'm telling you, but it's not relevant to anybody else. No, it's not relevant to me either. I know I'm going to do it. You go tell somebody else. Go. I don't want to hear it. Don't let them talk. Don't let this venom enter your neshama. Why? It's going to affect you. You start putting on some modest clothes. All of a sudden you're wearing a dress that reaches the floor. One of the girls says, what are you wearing? If you know that she's asking the question in a derogatory way, you have to answer in an aggressive way. I'm wearing what my grandmother Sarai Imenu was wearing. You should do the same and leave. Don't give them the time of day to inject you with their poison. Why? Because the Midrash says that Adam HaRishon was created after all of the other creatures. After the lion, after the bear, after the panda, after the snake, after the yatush even, the mosquito. The question is why? Why after everybody? Now on one hand, the Gemara says, because if the person is not a shomer Torah and mitzvot, he doesn't learn Torah and mitzvot, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to tell him, look at you. I brought you to the world to learn Torah, and you didn't even do that. That mosquito is more important than you. What? How do I know? Look, I created him before you. So he was already better than you. And the only way you can become better than him is if you fulfill your will, my will, by living Torah mitzvot, studying Torah. You didn't do it. You stayed. Something as insignificant as something that's below a mosquito. On the other hand, the Gemara says that the reason why Kadosh Baruch Hu made Adam HaRishon, mankind, after all of the animals, is because he took a piece of the strength of every single one of the creatures that he created before them and instilled it into man. A little bit of the snake, a little bit of the donkey, a little bit of the bull, a little bit of the lion. Sometimes you hear somebody roaring, screaming at his wife. That's a lion. Sometimes you see somebody, he likes to say something that's really going to hurt you, gets right under your skin. That's a snake, venom. Sometimes you see somebody just making a mess for no reason. That's a donkey. Sometimes you see somebody is so lazy, he doesn't even want to get out of bed. It's the elephant. All of these things are animalistic behaviors that are in all of us. Question is whether you're going to use them or not. Now when somebody comes and attacks your idea to serve Hashem at a higher level, to do something good in life, you want to make a very big donation to help a bunch of poor people, you want to do something significant and you want to build some holy place that's going to be full of Kedusha, you want to do something that nobody else has done ever or maybe any time recently. The second somebody comes to you with their venom, with their cobra venom, and their midat amalek, to cool you off, you have to use your animalistic lion and roar them away. Roar them away, don't let them speak even. As soon as you know they're going to try to cool you off, if you know this is a good idea, your Rav says it's a good idea, anyone that wants to get in your way, tell them, do me a favor, tell this to somebody else. Why? I know it's not me that's achieving anything. It's all Hashem. So everything that you're saying is about my limitations. But I know I have limitations. You don't have to remind me of my limitations. But I also know I'm not the one that's doing it. Success is in the hand of the Creator only. What I'm doing here is I'm telling Hashem that I want to be His vessel to do something good. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing anything. I'm not building any buildings. I'm not teaching any books. I'm not saying any divrei Torah. I'm not doing anything. All I'm doing is I'm asking Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please, I beg you, use me as the tool, use me as the vessel to build this yeshiva, to marry this beautiful woman, and have beautiful kids that are all tzaddikim, to be the father of all of these tzaddikim, to be the mother of all of these tzaddikim, to do all of this good. Please, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, use me as your tool. I can't do it. And this guy over here, this venom over here, this cobra over here, friend of mine, this friend of me, just wanted to come here and remind me that I can't do it, but I told him I know I can't do it. It's you. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please, use me. Because all I have is I have the desire to do your will. Once a person understands their own limitations, and at the same time understands Hashem's unlimitedness, and at the same time understands that their belief, their Emunah in something, literally instills power in something, they're going to know how to navigate in their life for good and for bad. They know that if they reacted a certain way that was negative, there will be negative consequences as a result. Sometimes right away, sometimes a tsunami that arrives a week later. Needless to say, something will happen. Same thing with positive. If a person looks to do something positive, they have to already think of things in a way that's appropriate. Eliminate any negativity from around them. Eliminate any of the naysayers. Eliminate anything that is telling them, no, you can't do it. Not because you think you can do it, like the Goyim say, if you believe in yourself, then you can do it. That's not what we're saying. No, you agree you can't do it. Because you can't do anything, you're just a piece of meat. But Hashem can. And all you want to do is convince Hashem to use you as the vessel to bring this thing to life. Whatever good thing that is. Which includes also success in business, success in marriage, success in parenting, anything that you want. Know that it's all in Hashem's hands to do anything. And know that you have to eliminate anything that's going to confuse you. Which sometimes means your friends, your family, and whoever else. You have to eliminate all of these types of things, because as long as you are focused on what you need to do, to constantly pray to Hashem, to be used as that vessel, you can literally succeed in things that are beyond your imagination. Beyond your imagination to such an extent that you're not going to believe that it's happening. But you have to be very careful with the people you have around you. Quite frankly, the more success you want, the less people you want around you. Unless they have the same mindset as you. Which, the bigger your mindset, the less people will have it. So, this, Rabotai, answers a lot of different questions. Not only how the tzaddikim can literally say a prayer and make a promise that something good would happen and it happens, to how the goyim could literally instill life into something that's solid, lifeless, to how you could implement it into your life, for good and for bad.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל מה שיפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכו לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הודיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה.
איפה הוא גר?
בפלורידה.
פלורידה, איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית.
חזק אותו בשמי.
קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעביר לו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
כן.